somebody parked right here.
Hey, I'm gonna go rest for a minute, and then we'll go to the store. Get your stamps. You still want to go to Costco? No? Where you want to go at?
We can go get that dip though from Costco. That's
Where you want to go?
probably Walmart. More affordable.
I'm gonna go rest for a minute, and we'll go.
Okay. Yeah, when we leave, I'll take out that trash.
That's fine.
Top dump in this container they have next to their generator. And if you look inside, there's a lot of welding stuff. Some stems. Exactly what welding stuff, welding masks. Obviously, they're welding stuff
You're
that
ready,
out there, so they will bring
good
in.
cough drops.
That solves that.
What do you mean some good cough drops?
She gave me some good cough drops.
They're the same fucking thing.
No, these are Hall. I've been buying generic.
I got some up there.
Well, now you got more.
They were mixed in with that red bag Bubba gave you.
Oh.
You need somebody out here who can fix all this stuff. Something's gonna go wrong. What is this? I assume this was a generator. It was this Caterpillar D8800. That's what this thing was.
That's a license plate.
How they ever powered. That's just me trying to put two and two together. I could be wrong though. This is the engine they have powering this whole conveyor belt. We have a couple engines, but this is the main one. It's a car engine, I believe. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I think to fully appreciate this, you gotta appreciate where we are. Again, tiny trails, really, really hard trails get in here, and you have this. And it's interesting, I've read about the miners that lived here in the 1890s. I didn't read that much about the people that came out here in the 80s. I wonder, like, if they were coming exclusively by helicopter, which could be a reason that it failed. How long the ship was? Were they here for a week? You know, a month at a time? This channel has a lot of people watching.
And I know y'all watching. I'm finna.
Worked this Keenan mine complex in the 80s. Do let me know. I'm very curious about how all this came to be. I'd love to interview somebody if they worked out here. That would be so cool. Oh. Oh, wow, look at that. A huge crucible. Look at this furnace. Look at that crucible. Holy cow. So they were doing some refining all the way out here too. So that's another context clue. I didn't know they were doing refining. That's like a commercial refiner right there. So they're heating it up inside of this. They're poured out of that crucible. Probably a cone mold somewhere around here. That's awesome. So they had a whole operation. They're getting it all the way down to the fine stuff out here. So this Keenan complex is the reason that probably this hike exists. It is the reason that most people lived in any of these canyons. And primarily they were mining right here. There were 7 or so claims, but altogether there was, I think, about 50 people living here. Ore was first discovered in 1878. They found gold. They got very excited. They called it the Keynote Mine. Eventually it became the Keenan Mine. And by 1881, it was prime time. You know, they were producing $500,000, $1 million a year worth of ore, all of which was being processed mostly over the Beveridge Canyon in the town of Beveridge, which had a 5-stamp mill. But try to imagine 50 people out here giving it their all and transporting their ore like 3 miles up and over these canyons to get processed. This is it, Keenan Canyon and Keenan Mine. A big deal back in the 1800s, and a big deal again in the 1980s. Now, we're off to Beveridge. Well, the Beveridge Ridge Chapel tonight, tomorrow Beveridge. The most intact, the most isolated ghost town out there. So, and just like that, look at what we have. This would be the Beveridge Ridge Cabin. And from my understanding back in the day, they used this as a store and kind of an office for everything happening in between Keenan and Beveridge. This is the home for the night. It's a beautiful cabin. You can do a tour. Head on out.
I think it was the Eagles.
place for me to write my next book. Got some beds, fireplace. This is very well stocked up. A lot of really cool things in here. Another thing to note, and it's mentioned here, but Wendell Moyer was kind of the guy who scouted and recreated the Lonesome Miners Trail. It's basically. And Wendell kind of connected all of them, and he is just a big reason that this trail is still possible to be able to hike. And so I'm very thankful to him. He was actually in the guest book back in the Cowboy Canyon. I'll never be able to pronounce that. Wendell legend, legacy lives on. Things like this. Today, day 3. It's probably the hardest day, I would say. Just getting out of the Cowboy Canyon is really hard. Not just because of the 3,000 feet elevation, but the trail was just gone. It was just boulder, your trail climbing a lot, took a lot of time. I think I was probably having moving time 10 and a half, 11 hours a day. The hike has helped me have like actual thoughts, if that makes sense. I think it's easy these days to kind of almost let your thoughts be guided on what's on social media, what's being fed to you in your algorithm because of the feed or whatever.
I could care less about my algorithm, Brody.
Out here I felt kind of after like day 2, breaking out of that, just having thoughts about the town, about what I want to do with it, that I found really impactful. So I gotta remember to do more of these. It's really hard to carve out time away. It feels like every day away from work is a day that you should be working. So I think that these almost reset the clock and allow you to come back and be, let's say instead of 70% efficient, you're 80%, and you're getting more done in the long run. Beverage is kind of the grand finale tomorrow. Luxury living tonight. We got a roof over our heads. And like that, I think it's time to call it a day.
A flood.
We're losing about 3,000 feet this morning. And by day 4 of this hike, my knees are feeling a little tender. And the downhills will get you on these hikes. But I'm excited to get back to Beverage. It's beautiful. There's a lot of history to be told there. I'm excited to see what I noticed for the second time. As I say, never step in the same river twice. Because you're in a person. So it's weird. And here it is, Beverage Canyon. Can't see the town quite yet. Soon you should come across an aerial tramway that are using to actually pull ore way up here in this hillside and take it down to the stamp mill down below. Before we know it, we're down to one of the tram stations. And again, this tram is taking ore from up on that hillside where they had a mine. You can kind of see a little part there, all the way down to here, all the way down into the canyon where the water is and the stamp mill is. I wonder too if they brought some of the stuff from the Keynote up there too, because that would save a lot of transit down on mules. They just kind of revolutionized mining when that happened. The sunlight expand, great expanses, bring out ore much easier. You know, I always like to say this, like when the buckets were in the air above this canyon, for instance, sometimes miners are right out on the buckets, and that was before commercial airlines were flying. So that feeling of being suspended 1,000 feet in the air, looking down, would have been one that nobody else in the world had, I think. But as you can see, in a few years, this is just going to be dust, a lost memory to a time what once was. Down at the end of the tramway, way down in the canyon, the beginning of Beverage. Supported by a branch barely hanging on over a drop of, I don't know, 8 feet. That is something else. So this is the stamp mill, and you can see it has those poles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the bottom probably on site, because unlike the Keenot mine, I didn't bring any of this on helicopter. All this was built in place and lived here. So it's interesting now to see it deteriorating. You know, the trees are coming back. There's something a little poetic about it. So you can see the stamps there that are crushing up the ore, and right next to it is the boiler. So I imagine this is creating steam to power this wheel to crush all the ore they needed to crush. So down in here, we'll feed it. Towards the stream, and it seems very peaceful. Back when this was a mining camp, this was anything banging, clapping, blow those days. As you're coming up the valley from Beveridge, there's all these old encampments from the Beveridge settlement. Down there, you see this cool stone building. And I was trying to think, like, how long did that take to build? And how long is it going to last? Until they used to have a wooden roof on it. The beam fell in, but the walls are still there. It's still good. And like that, goodbye once again, Beverage. I don't know when I'll see you again, but I hope I do. And up ahead, hidden, not the ticket, that goes in the cabin. This cabin these days. And I love it when plan supplies it. Nothing is visible yet. Just a moment. A really cool bit of Inyo County. Here we go. Home sweet home where the water's flowing. Ooh, is that a good sight to see right now? We're back. Old Frenchie's Cabin. A classic where I spent some good days a couple years ago. That's about how I left it. Spent some good nights on these beds. Not here. This is your view. Somewhere over here. Pretty nice. This place is really special. It's a place that I don't know, one of my first big treks, adventures, solo in the wilderness, and really just fell in love with all of these canyons. Kind of how things go. I heard about Beverage, then heard about the LMT, and then I've now seen all different canyons. And coming back is a little bit like homecoming. It feels very special. And I do honestly grapple with the idea of sharing these videos. This is something that I didn't know if I was going to talk about, but I'm thinking that, you know, there is a certain amount of gatekeeping that is done in very special places that mean a lot to a lot of people, because we've seen so many of these great places destroyed over the years. And a place like Beveridge, or like the French's Cabin here, is no different than that. With this big video, my hope isn't to get you to come and hike the Lonesome Miners Trail. If you do, shoot me a message. I will be more than happy to give you any type of information or learning that I have. The point is to get out there in your own backyard, you know, understand the history, like discover some little rabbit hole you want to go down and learn something new, and just do that wherever you are. So I think the feelings that I've had along the trail are replicatable no matter where you are in the world, and no matter what you're doing. And so the idea is more just
Future waterfalls as tropical rain into a pristine rainforest, then filters through volcanic rock into an ancient artesian aquifer, untouched by man, until you drink it. Fiji water.
Make your dog a Quattro dog.
pit. But if you look across that pit, very closely, there's a shaft. A shaft that was built 150 years ago and stranded ever since they went down. Nobody's been back there 150 years. Nobody knows what's back there. So in this video, I'm going to try to bolt my way across this pit to see what's in that shaft. Candle box. It's probably the coolest box I've ever found. So right now we're 86 feet underground in the Union Mine at Cerro Gordo. This mine was responsible for hundreds of millions of dollars worth of ore, and the majority of that ore came right here at the Jefferson Chimney. A crack in the earth and it was filled in with precious minerals. So it was the main thing that created this whole town. That is the pit we don't want to go down. It's big, it's deep, it's terrifying, and across the way right there, you can see some backfill from a shaft. I knew about the Jefferson Chimney when I moved up here over 5 years ago, but I didn't know where it was maybe a year after moving here. And at that time, I rappelled down from the surface all the way down to basically the and it was the craziest adventure of my life. Into the Jefferson Chimney. I almost ended it right there. In the years since, I've explored most of the different levels here at the Union Mine. And one thing kind of always stuck in the back of my mind. You know, this little ghost tunnel that I saw across this void. And I looked at maps, and there's only one little mention of it. There's a report put together by the USGS, and the Jefferson Chimney, they say, is inaccessible other than some surface warriors. But they do mention that by 1875, they had moved below the 86th level, where we are right now. So that means that in 1875, that void was existing, and nobody was on the other side of that void in that tunnel since then. That means for 150 years that has sat there. And that to me is just like catnip. That's the type of thing that I'm always looking for, and I feel finally ready just to give it a shot. So, I'll start assembling my stuff, drilling the first couple holes, see if we can get across this thing. My hope with the exploration is to learn something new about Cerro Gordo. I have found over the past 5 years of living here that the more history I can uncover and understand and contextualize my experience of living here that much more, it makes my time here that much richer. And finding artifacts down the mine is easier said than done. Since this was a commercial mine in the 1940s, every caretaker and owner has been finding and removing artifacts from the Union mine. There's even a newspaper article from 1950 where the foreman, a guy named Fisher, talks about finding handmade digging tools or tallow candles that are removed. But as you can imagine, the more difficult the area is to reach, the higher likelihood that there is artifacts there, which gave me a lot of confidence going into this exploration. Normal contexts, when you do something scary, there's at least very deep down some assurance of safety. No matter how scary a roller coaster is, some modern engineer designed it, and you know that thousands of people have done this before you. None of those things are the case when it comes to this circumstance. The Union mine was not known as a safe mine even by 1800 standards. There's a quote by William Crapo in an 1874 report to the government when he's discussing safety here, and he said, my strategy in all of this was to reach as far as I could to my left, try to find big rocks and drill a bolt. You tap on the rock and you hear a high-pitched ping. That's probably solid rock. That's good stuff. If you're a low thud or anything hollow, that's no good. And if the rock starts splintering when you first start drilling, that's no good either. And early on, I was finding a lot of thuds and a lot of splinters. Typically when I'm climbing, I use mechanical bolts. The mechanical bolts work as they have a sleeve on them, and you put them in, and as you tighten them, it pulls back on the sleeve, which expands the bolt and fits it snugly into the hole that you give. But sometimes you want more surface area, and so you can use glue-in bolts, where you drill a hole, you blow it out, you clean it, then you fill it with this heavy-duty epoxy, you push in the bolt, and so I made a decision to switch from mechanical bolts to glue-in bolts. All of the rock out there is just extremely crumbly. It's just so fractured that once Manhammer clips off. What really got me is I was standing out there and I was standing on this ledge of what's made of the same rock that I'm drilling into, and the whole ledge just kind of went out, which just shows how kind of fractured, messed up this rock is. So I'd much rather safe than anything else. So we'll see. Not a good feeling when you're out there really trying, just can't find any good rocks. Before I left, I decided to go down a little further the Jefferson Chimney from a different route. It might give me a more comforting path in the future. And as I was down there, I didn't find any more solid rock, but on my way back up, shoved in the side of this cliff, was this box. And I found boxes before, but I've never found a box like this. Candle box. They stopped using candles in 1900 when they got carbide, so that's pretty freaking old. It's probably the coolest box I've ever found. This was a Procter & Gamble adamantine candles, which is made from stearic acid, which is animal fat. And candle boxes in the mine are incredibly rare. They switched to carbide sometime around 1900, so that means that candle boxes in the mines were only a thing from 1865 into the 1890s. I was pretty freaked out after the ledge crumbled below me, but finding artifacts gave me more confidence that this area I was looking to get to was going to hold some pretty cool stuff. So I'm back above ground, kind of formulating my plan a little bit more. And in 2021, I first figured out where the definition was on the property. And at that time,
this is kind of a cool section where you got a Hercules dynamite box with dynamite still in it, and a little shelf. California Cat Cove. These are the blasting caps. So there's actually a blasting cap itself there, which is kind of dangerous. And this little shelf they built. No brand on that one. So it's pretty cool stuff. One day I'll come in here and dig all this out. You can see the pack racks that are down here. We need to get down deeper. And that is what we will do. See up here what a terrifying void this is. Just so much that they took out of here. See the timbers, they're trying to keep it apart. And we are headed down.
back then they didn't have the modern reinforcement technologies that we have today. So they tried to take out everything valuable that they could and leave behind just enough so the whole thing didn't collapse on them. And it was also called stoping, and there were a few strategies they used that I could see while I was going down. The first was called room and pillar mining, where the miners would leave pillars and ledges in these giant openings for natural support. And to get from ledge to ledge, the miners created crude wooden ladders.
Plants. But I don't know what these are. Can't believe I didn't see them last time I was down here. It's like canvas. Oh, suspenders? There's just some suspenders. So it's an cinch in the back. It's worth taking up. I'll take that up.
platform now, and you can tell by the light over there that this actually still has some access to the outside. Lots of dead animals down here that have been falling. But it's below this that I make the juncture between the more dangerous pit and the easier way I took last time. I'm hoping, just a minute we'll get onto the ledge, make the decision to go towards the area I want to, and see if we can't get to where we need to go. But it never seems to amaze me that all of this is taken out by humans, hundreds of years ago. It's so crazy. You can see here how they're using this kind of duck canvas to prevent dirt from sliding down the cracks of this platform they built. And sometimes, instead of using this canvas, they'll use old jeans or down over straps, wherever they have. Who knows, underneath this there might be some, but creepy how they're building all these little platforms everywhere. Eventually, after squeezing myself through more holes than I'd like to, I got to the juncture again. All right, this is it. The death side. I didn't want to go down. We're gonna go down. Come on. Unfortunately, far before I'd like, I saw the bottom. It was a familiar bottom. In fact, I saw the drills and other materials 40 foot below me on the same ledge I had been working for the past few days. Oh man, there's my stuff. It's actually further away. Oh. Well, that sucks. So that turned out to just be a very long, complicated way at the bottom. So I think we're gonna take a little breather. And it's adventures like this that I'm always very thankful that this everywhere I go. This element is just sodium, potassium, magnesium. It's an electrolyte mix that I take with me literally everywhere, as you can tell. And I love it. It's very easy to bring around. It keeps me going. I found it to be a huge benefit living up here in the desert. And if you're out there, I can try something out. They're giving an 8 sample pack for free with any purchase. All you have to do is go to drinkelement.com/Brent. So drinkelement.com/Brent. And I'm serious, I bring this up everywhere. I give it a shot. I finish this up. Across this pit. I think the rappel into the pit gave me enough confidence to continue on the traverse, and so I started once again across the pit. It's right there, but I've been going down, and I need to find places to go up. To get right there, so close. So this is all crappy rock. We'll see, we're going up there, getting close. As I got closer and closer to the area I was going, I realized the hardest and most scary part of this entire exploration was going to be getting into this mine shaft. I was approaching from below a mine shaft that's on a cliff that's filled to the very edge with stacked loose rock. This means there's no way to get into the tunnel, and there's nothing to hold yourself up on except for loose rock. And as I got closer, I figured that I would clear a small ledge, at least enough for me to turn around and put my back against. And so I started slowly throwing down rocks into the void, one by one, trying to get enough space. Eventually, I had just enough space, and I turned, put my back against the rock, and finally, I was resting for a second. There still wasn't enough room to get. I started throwing down more rocks, and I started getting my rope prepared for getting into this tunnel after all these days. And as I threw my rope above me, the weight of the rope alone was enough to send a few 100 pounds of rocks down onto my lap. In the moment, I didn't panic. I just very quietly started throwing down the rocks. The heaviest ones first, one by one. After enough was cleared, I was able to lift up one leg, then the other leg. Slowly, all the rocks descended down into the pit of death. And after that, there still wasn't enough room. So I slowly kept clearing my way until eventually the adrenaline just took over, and I scrambled up the face of this loose rock, sending one big one behind me, but finally, I was in. Once I got in, the first sound was just silence. I allowed myself to sit there, not turn around, building anticipation of what all the work was for. And as I turned around, there was a slight disappointment. The shaft only went about 20 feet back. So here we are, to the other side, and there's not a pair of Levi's just waiting for me like I wanted, but there is a scrap of denim. And I'm just very proud of myself for getting over something I've thought about for many years. I wasn't too afraid to try, and I made it. And it's very rare that you're able to go somewhere that humans haven't touched in 100 years. I'm just stoked to be over here on flat land. Getting in here, that edge was really sketchy. And now if you look, you can see that there's debris very similar to the debris that was in the ground the other day. And my first instinct is to push all this rock just into this pit and see what's under here. That could cause problems with the edge there. At the same time, this shirt, this little button, this box, this rope, this other stuff, they're definitely using this as a replacement for our trash. Think about it. Once I started going down, nobody came over here since.
See how old these square nails were? Square nails, 1800s. It does give you signs of a dump down here. Oh, there we go. So I really should do is dig through all of this and see if there's more of this. There's other stuff. I'm a little too tired today after getting over here.
Shit.
So I'm back down here, and this box that I kind of thought was just an insignificant box turns out to be a huge piece of Cerro Gordo history that is evidence of something that was massive to this town, but I have never seen before today. Let's take a look. So this faded lettering on this box actually acts kind of like a postal stamp. At the top, we have Puitz 2, and that's to the Union Consolidated Mine. And that was the biggest mine here at Cerro Gordo that was established in 1875 by Mortimer Belshaw. So right away, we know that this box is not older than 1870. I love the idea of pushing off the ledge, but at the same time, they're pushing rocks off this ledge, and it's just a giant pit. This is the first physical evidence that I've seen at Cerro Gordo of the Cerro Gordo Freighting Company, a massive, massive historic company, not just in Cerro Gordo's history, but in California's history, and it's exciting. So with that, I started getting into this and clearing this thing and seeing what else we could find. Since moving to Cerro Gordo, my mind has kept a very clear map of the levels of the mine. And the areas that stand out the most to me are the areas that I know exist that I haven't yet explored. In recent explorations, just around the corner of the Jefferson Chimney, I have found all sorts of artifacts from the 1870s, 2 to 3 feet below backfill. I found newspapers, I found candles, I found a shirt, I even found pants from the 1870s, not 100 feet from where I was. So I knew if there's any really cool stuff, it was going to be underneath the rock. All right, I've been digging for a number of hours now, probably 4 hours. The most exciting is this scrap at denim. We have the t-shirt with this beautiful button. We have the box. I found 4 cans. And with all of this, what we're looking for is context clues. And I'm very confident 1876 is the last time I ever was in here. If you look around, there's more clues than just this box. If you look at all the bottles I found, they're applied lip, meaning this lip is blown separately and applied after the bottle is blown. And this was an 1800s thing that got kind of figured out by the 1900s. Then comes the candle wax. Look at the box. Assuming it came from that, you can see some candle wax there, and then above it as well. And then on this pickaxe handle that I found, it's very cool. There's actually wax on this as well. You can see some there, there's some down there, there's some up there, and over there on the wall too. I'll go closer. There's candle wax on the wall. And so you have to think that a guy could have been down here, just candle in his teeth, digging this out. You see marks on pickaxe right there. And look at that. This is just a freaking stick, log. And it too has, the square nail coming out of it, the hand through nature where they chop, 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 and there's all the dimensional stuff. I just feel like somewhere in this mess is a lot more than I could do, but for right now, that's about all I can do because that has been about 5 hours. I'm excited. It's nice to have that feeling that you're not at the end yet, that possibility is still there. And the feeling that I like is one that keeps me coming back and
that a bone? I really hope it doesn't hurt.
and my shovel is a probe.
I remember those biochem notes. They don't just finish by 2 a.m. It's just
Thanks. It's a Mac. You can just create key points.
look at the big brain on Kevin.
During weekends, we do like a crazy. They're all bragging rights in the hood. I'm like, my guy won the game.
So my shovel is a probe. Right here in the bottom of the trough, and use your hands. Instead of digging at the crater
Last night we hit 3 diamonds in our take-home gravel. That was from a couple days ago. I know exactly where I dug, and that day I used my prospecting mind. I looked at contours, features, drops, eddies, riffles, nugget traps, what have you. And I'm gonna try to do the same thing today, but in a new area. It's a cold one out here. We only got 1, 2, 3 vehicles in the entire parking lot. Those are the employee cars. Empty. All the diamonds for me. For $500 a week, he later had it cut into a marquee-shaped gem, which was valued at more than 150 grand. Heck yeah, I'm gonna find a Colorado Dreamer diamond, yellow, big monster, rent that baby out for 2 grand a week. I'm not gonna cut it. Wish me luck. I can't believe there's no one out here. The whole field is mine. We got chased out of here yesterday a little bit before 4. They wanted to really wash the pavilions and get home. But first we got clean water in the tanks, flushed and cleared of sediment. Wow, there's a whole bunch of stuff right here. Oh man, I might have to dig a little bit of this. Did someone already dig that out? I don't know. But we got flow here as well. This one's clean down to the bottom. If anybody in Colorado has the fabrication skills, I believe these troughs are made out of stainless steel, but I'd love to make one of these for Gold Camp. So you have a phenomenal panning trough. Amazing design, I love this thing. And I'll outfit it with a sluice box here at the end, so every time we dump it, we catch the gold that was missed. Now for good luck here, I'm gonna pick the end trough. I haven't used it yet. I like trying out new spots, trying out new things. We're gonna use this end trough. I just spotted a dripper here, look at that. They're gonna have to replace the gasket. We got a leak here coming out of this here trough. This whole, ooh, yeah, it's not holding enough water to wash. But here I can get a better look at the setup. So you got flanges in the screen. There's 1 plate, retainer bar, 1 plate, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plates in the smaller panning trough. Man, what a beautiful day. Today is Northfield. Get dug up here on this trip, but I have once in the past. You can see all these furrows up here on the upper field. I'm gonna prospect around, see if I can't find any gravel. See, someone took a sample here. We got a little bit of gravel showing, but a whole lot of silt down here in this wash. Let's find something chunkier. Coming down, here we got a little pocket, wraps into the culvert. Okay, someone came in last night. I was thinking about digging that out, but someone came in and dug that already. Let's see, wraps around here. We got a little pocket in there. Take a little bit of that gravel right there. See a little bit of gravel piling up over here. So I'm using my shovel as a probe. Give it a little kick. I hear hard pack and gravel right underneath, right here in the pocket. Here as well. I'm gonna dig all that out. Listen close. Crunch. Beautiful. This crunch right here sounds good. Okay, listen. Crunchy. First load going up. Starting to sweat, it's getting warm. Load 2. Yeah, I'm working on load 3. I'm running out of buckets. So I'm gonna have to start getting real picky with my gravel here. You can see here right at the surface, we have a bunch of silt, but right under it, there's no crunch there. A little too far down. Stuff's halfway decent. There's a little bit right here. Here we got there's one little pocket right there. Let's take that. See that on the bottom? You can see the coarser grains. That's what we're looking for right there. Came across some nicer gravel right at the end, but I'm out of buckets. This here is load 3. We're gonna run this. If we have time, I'm gonna come back for more. Time to start washing buckets. Line them up here so they're easier to load into the sifting screens. Load this up. Now you go one little higher. Pyramid of diamonds. Bam. Here's a look at my entire setup, my 3 tubs. I'm gonna classify it 3 sizes: chill, rest, refuel, gloves, screens. Gonna be using the Muddy Miners as well. And here, look at that. Here's our stack of glory hole pay dirt, baby. That's a lot of buckets. This is my diamond pyramid right here, coming on down. We got 20 buckets here, but since they're not all full, I'm counting this as 18. I think that's all I'm gonna run today. I'm not gonna use the big screens because these only go down to 16 mesh. I love this setup though. Today we're gonna bust out these Muddy Miner 4-stage screen stack here. But with this, I can classify very efficiently in Saruka with these same Sarukas at the end. 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, 16 mesh. Here we have the 20 mesh. We'll do 1/8 inch plus, 16 plus, 20 plus right there. Oh, it gets chilly. You're cold. You pull water up to here. So I'm throwing the deck. Next, we got the apron. Absolute must have if you're somewhat serious. I went, I don't know, total 7 days total without an apron, without mud boots. Let me tell you, it's wet, nasty, and cold. So stack up the screens, get them ready. Smallest on the bottom. Next to that one, this one on top. Gloves on. Right here in the bottom of the trough, you can see this is the only time you'll be able to see the Sarukas down here. This water is so muddy, it's crazy. Grab our first bucket. This one's a light one. Throw it on the edge. Ooh, this is nice being able to see. This is a good example. I got everything in at that time, but it's easy to spill over with this. So typically, I'll put my hand here on the edge of Saruka just like this. Dump it in this way. Usually you can never see this process because the water's so muddy. I'm one of the very few people here, so I'm going to show you guys how this works. So you can see all the silk. Here you can see all the silken stuff wafting out to the water. All this is breathing out. So we have our top classification screen. Give it a spin. Use your hands. I don't have a whole lot of rock in here. And I give it a side to side bounce. And that's it. I can see everything. So I do a quick scan, no diamonds, toss it. Look at that waft of silk. Then for the next trade, we hand wash it like this, breaking up those clays. Give it a spin, give it a shake, side, up and down, side, up and down. That right there is our oversized 1/8 inch plus material. Take that and dump it into our first tub here. Bam. Place this over here. Next tray. And it is nearly full. You can only do about 1/4 bucket at a time, if not less, before these fill up. But I get to classify very well at all stages. Now I'm shaking both Sarukas. Double sifting action. Side, up, down. Nice and clean dump. But actually, this one I put off to the side. I'm going to do this last round here double-handed to save a little bit of movement, a little bit of energy. Hopefully 5 more diamonds. Here's 20 mesh. 16 mesh in the right hand, 20 in the left. Dump them at the same time. Just like so. Stack them back together. Rinse and repeat many times. Let's make sure they're nested, grab nice buckets. This will be a real world run. Hold up.
Bad Guys 2 is the best animated action comedy in years. Showtime. The Bad Guys 2. Owning Oreo cakes, we decided to show up for salsa.
Keep your clothes organized and outfits ready with the Command Folding Clothes Hanger. Easy to install for more hanging space wherever you need it. Folds up to 5 items. No tools required. And when you're done using it, simply fold it away and get on with your day. Command Folding Clothes Hanger.
A year after I quit smoking, I was diagnosed with peripheral artery disease. I needed surgery to restore blood flow to my body. Later, I found out smoking also surgery to remove my kidney. My tip is quit now. The sooner you quit, the better.
You can do it.
Twist it, turn it, side, got the arm down. Most of it's staying. You got a little bit of spillover. That's all I can handle. Buck down the corner, stir. Big rock. Get rid of the top material. This I'm gonna drop on the side here. I'll actually do it here. Take a quick look through it. That one, it is full, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and shoot that down. Clean the 1/8" off, reload it, and still have room for the bottom 2 screens. We'll have to check and see. That's oversized, 1/8" plus. We have a lot of that in this material. Pump it. Back, feel the bottom. Ooh, it's filling up a little bit. Give that a double shake like this underwater. Just showing you guys. Lower down slow, clean it, restack, do one more load. Bam. Just like that, down the corner, still got a whole bunch of dirt in there. It's gonna take a while with these screens, but they're nice, we can't screw through them. Yeah, I'm gonna do one here in real time without talking, so you guys can see what I do here for a couple hours in a row. This is what it takes to find those diamonds. And I'm collecting as many as I can. I want that 20 mesh, I want those stones. Yeah, I better shut up and start working. Let's get on with business. And corner. See, another problem is this gets covered with dirt also, and I'm losing gravel. I really wish these were a little bit deeper. What can you do? See how muddy that stuff is? I'm just gonna load with more silt in it. Check it, and it's full. Just move that material. Get it through there. This one back. This one back. Another load. Full. Break it down. Look around. Got a couple more people out here. Jack's digging out there. This guy's set up there in new squash. Seems like a really nice guy. Don't call that along for now. I got a lot of washing to do. I do a quick sort through to look for anything shiny, diamonds. The rest gonna have to get slammed through the wooden box. The good thing about this is we'll be able to see both processes. I like both these setups. I like this set and I like this set. Alright, well I'm gonna get creative here, set an idea. So we have a 16 mesh bottom of the wooden screen. Just thinking about putting this on the bottom, but I don't want to break the screen. But look at that, it fits. The edges overhang, so I can do that. I'm gonna try that out. That way I can catch a majority inside of that 20 mesh. So now goes the 1/8 inch. And here we have the 1/4 inch screen. So now it's sitting higher. No, screen isn't in the water. It's not gonna work. Damn it. Darn. But thanks, what we do, fill it up. No, now make that work. Can't wash this material because it's not in the water, so we have a problem. Now I can potentially pull this out initially. See, now we're submerged. Do one of these numbers. The water level is lower. I need to get some dirt in here to raise it up. I barely have enough water for this. I flip it on edge, quickly scan, looking for big old diamonds. That giant yellow we're gonna get would be sitting right here. Nothing, so I toss it. This thing holds a lot more gravel, so just put that back on, bring this up, float it, load it. Another big load, look at that. Beautiful, on the corner, ready to put short weight into it. A little bit of clay in this material. Bounce, double bounce. Bounce it all over to one side, flip it on edge. So you guys can see I do a quick scan. You can also flip this and look at the center potentially. Today we're going to do it this way. Nothing, toss it. Just like that. This box still holds more material. Throw in some more. Now I'm letting the bottom trays fill up with muck and goo. So that way I'll be able to lift this up and put the 20 mesh underneath and catch some of those diamonds. Some are falling through right now as we speak. Majority of this material, like 95% of it, is actual diamondiferous lamprite. The other things we see here are primarily jaspers right now. Toss it. This will go there. This goes back over here. We'll keep the 20. Ooh. Okay, so this box, I'm gonna lift this up so you can see it. Look at that, full to the brim. Full to the brim of muck. So I'm gonna slide this. Oh, this is a pain in the butt. I'm gonna slide this underneath. And I'm gonna do this for a few. I'm not gonna do this for all of them. So it'll catch some of that material and I slide the height. See that? I'll break this up. I might have filled this box a little too full. Got a little overzealous on that one. You guys get to see the process here. Stir all that up so everything gets liquid. Dream me, you can make it happen. Let's find that big one. Wham Bam Diamond Band. Got a lot of clay in this material. You can see the sticky clay. It's full, look at that. Last bucket. Need 5 more buckets. We got a full load. We're at 23 nearly full buckets today. Look at that. All of our washed gravel. Now we got to concentrate this down through. Time to concentrate. Full scoop. Half scoop. Yeah, we'll go more than that. being so aggressive because I got such a full Sarugi. Pull it out at an angle, let it drain, put it over here. So this here is my system. Put this over here while it drains, I scoop the next center. I don't even really look. Keep it. Take a little bit more the first go around. Level this out. Now we flip the dry drains through right here. Boom. Move on to the next one. Re-Saruka all the material twice. This is my second flip. You can see we just got Jaspers for heavy for the most part, a few little barrettes in there. So I'm gonna scoop this, my super center, keep that in the second bucket. Dry that tonight. Flatten her out. Flip the next. And like that, we close out another day. Last one, I'm late. Here's my tailings. Overflow. That undersized 20 mesh had a ton of spinel and chrome diopside in it. These centers are gonna be interesting, and boy am I happy that I collected some of that 20 mesh. See how many, if any, diamonds I get out of it. Get home, start baking centers, find a yellow diamond. I was gonna turn in 3 diamonds I found over the past couple days. I'm out of time. Finishing the day out strong. See some secrets about finding diamonds in Arkansas? Check out this video right here.
He did right here. Like, come on, bro.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here. This is not good. This is not good. I decided to grab this camera because it had an SD card and it was easy. This needs to get resolved right now. Look at all the dirt. Look at all this dirt. That's not the problem. They can dig here, which, by the way, today, in this video, we're going to be fixing all of this. And we're also going to be adding more to the Fox enclosure and building more crazy stuff. This is a problem. As you can see, they got a little bit of their food left. This is not a big deal. I mean, this is just what they're going to do naturally. They den their foxes, right? And the dirt keeps them cool during the day. So I do plan to have Hector here tomorrow.
IHG Hotels and Resorts, you can explore the neighborhood. Or live like a local.
That we have all along the sides, you know, there is fencing, by the way. It comes out 4 feet, so it comes out to about here, but it's not in the middle. But this, they dig to keep cool, right? So we're gonna dig the cage down so they can have this, at least here. But this is the problem. Look at this. Not only is it going under the foundation of the new house we built for them, look at him sleeping up there, and this guy's peeking his head. But this is not good. He didn't dig it to get out, because I was watching his head stick out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta grab the camera. His head was just sticking out right here. It's deep though. Like, look, this is that's the cage right there, see? So it comes out to here. I've got to fill this in because look how far back it goes, all the way to where my hand is. That is probably roughly about this deep into that hole, okay? Thank gosh there's a cage there, else literally all this would be open, but he's been digging this way. I don't know if he knows, but yeah, no good. All he's got to do is go from literally right there, about literally 2 feet this way, and then he can dig up. Gone forever, Aaron Hernandez. He's gone. No bueno, folks. That hole goes all the way back to here, and it's only about 2 feet from escape-tion. Escape-tion cannot happen. So my job right now is to go get a shovel, and I've got to fill this in so that by the morning, Hector's getting here. It's almost dusk. It's almost dark out. Hector will be here at 7:30 in the morning. I'm going to have to keep an eye on these guys all night, all overnight. Come out here every once in a while to check because I can't have them redigging that hole and getting out. This will be resolved 100% by tomorrow morning in this video. We're building more, and I've got to get a shovel to fix that right this moment. So impressive that they dug that hole that fast. Alrighty, folks, the hole is covered. So I'm gonna keep an eye on these foxes overnight to make sure they do not redig this, especially now that it's soft dirt. And then tomorrow we have a busy day. New shelves, so much stuff getting done in this enclosure. New water bowl, dish. This was almost really bad though. That could have been so bad. Imagine my fox escaped. That video title would have been great. Alright. Good sign. Both the foxes are still here. Not only the foxes are here. What the heck? Hector! What happened? Foxes. Kinda cool, huh? Yeah. This is the workshop for today. We're back in here, except for this time we're gonna be working with these guys next to us because we had some work to do.
That happened only 2 days?
2 days. If I was to give them honestly any more time, these things would have dug out. We just need to put a cage in the middle now. Some of the leftover fencing over by the barn.
Okay.
And then after we put that, we throw the mulch back over, and then we're gonna make some shelves up top. Just some 2x8s we could. Yes. Munchkin. Come on out. Come in, Munchkin. I was wondering where you went. This is how I want the foxes to act. I can open this gate. I don't have to worry about him getting out. He won't run out without me saying something to him. And then he just wants to hang out with Dad. He just wants to hang out with Dad. I got a white t-shirt on, Munch. I'm not letting you come up any further than my knee. No, no, no. No, no, no. Munchkin? No. Come on. Come on. Go, go, go. Yeah. This little Munch. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Yeah, he was sleeping. He was completely asleep in his pineapple. You like that pineapple, huh? Yeah. I knew he was going to like this thing. I saw it at the grocery store, and I couldn't help but buy it for Munchkin because I knew he was going to like it. You know, I mentioned about getting another one of these Codemundis for Munchkin, but you know, I'm just still on the fence. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm still on the fence. Here's the reason. I have 2 reasons why I'm on the fence. One being, Munchkin is so good. Like, he is the best animal on the farm, the most personality. He's so well behaved. He listens. Like, he's like a little dog. And it's almost like introducing another dog to another dog. I don't want the other one to teach him bad traits, bad anything. And it's very possible because not all Codemundis are like that. 2, it's a 20-hour drive. It's a heck of a lot of money and time. And I don't think Munchkin will even like the second one being in there. I guess I have 3 points here. Third, the amount of time that is spent with Munchkin is incredible. People are constantly, 1, on this property, at this property, and 2, everyone's always going to Munchkin, hanging out inside the enclosure of Munchkin, weekly, daily, hourly. I'm talking, you think if no one spent time with him, I would feel a little bit more like, oh, maybe he does need a buddy. Brother, no. He is literally with me, my uncle, my mom, someone at the property, always busy, just hanging out with us. I mean, if there was a camera in this enclosure, I think I'm in this enclosure at least a total of a few hours per day between the people that all stay or work here. And that's the reason why Munchkin is so good with people. Like, he's waiting for a back rub right now. That's the reason why he's so good, though. And that's how I hope these foxes will be. I guess I'm just afraid that if I get another one, it's going to change the behavior of Munchkin. It terrifies me, to be honest, because this is my favorite animal at the farm, and he's always going to be, I believe, at least. Right now he's cleaning his butt. Come here. Come here. See, he listens like a dog. It's crazy. You see that mic? You see the mic? Oh, yeah. How does it get any cuter than that? It doesn't get any cuter. It doesn't get any cuter. I don't know. I guess I'm open for opinions in the comments down below. What do you think? It doesn't mean I'm not getting another one, but it's just a few thoughts that have been through my mind. I've been feeding the foxes later in the afternoon, so I pre-made their meals here in the prep room. As you can see, along with Munchkin's little snack, and then make him every Munchkin's little snack bowl. And then this is late in the morning, I think like literally 2 in the morning I made these bowls. I was bored, not obviously sleeping very well last night, so I was like, I'm just gonna make them their dinner for tomorrow. So I did pre-make everyone's bowls, and I think that's gonna be a good routine. Just make it the night before, that way in the morning I just put it right back out. But today I'm gonna wait a little bit to feed them because of all this construction going on in their enclosure again. If you remember, we put caging down on the ground, and this is exactly what it looked like. It's the same caging that the sides of the enclosure are made out of. Look how big that enclosure is. It's actually insane. Yeah, all this is going to be laying on the ground now, so they won't be able to dig whatsoever. And I don't know why I'm so excited, but I'm so excited to install this. It's the little things that excite me now. Let's get to work.
That pissed me off.
This part of gold is in one of the most valuable emerald mines in the world. Hundreds of people scavenge through waste by hand to uncover a few tiny stones.
No.
What? Like Squarespace, Squarespace, like.
Es muy común que hayan fracturas, han salido personas con fracturillos.
For Lydia, it's worth the risk. She used her last big score to pay off her debts and buy a home. But she hasn't found anything valuable in a year. Just a few miles away, commercial operations backed by foreign investors say they find emeralds every hour. Some sell for a fortune.
Retail a stone like this could go for about $500,000.
So what happens when foreign investors take over a $150 million industry? And can local miners gain a piece of it back? Emeralds form when hydrothermal fluids collect and mix beryllium with chromium or vanadium. The elements crystallize in deposits and form the storied green gems. But Colombia has a secret ingredient. It's one of the few places on Earth where emeralds form in shale instead of igneous rock. Shale contains the ingredients for emeralds, but it also creates byproducts like sulfur and pyrite. The sulfur absorbs some of the iron that would normally go into an emerald. Less iron means a more saturated green color. And for emerald boys, color is king.
Diamonds have been out there for a long time. Color stone is now another different league of valuation of stones.
57, around 35,000 per carat.
Buyers around the world covet these emeralds, but the profit is rarely seen by those who live around the mines. This is Musa. Miners have fought over the town's emeralds for centuries. Some run out as early as 3 a.m. for what's known as the voladora.
Me imagino teniéndola en la mano. Yo antes de tenerla, yo ya he planificado qué voy a hacer con ella.
Miriam is a guaquero, or guaquera in her case. She's an informal miner, sort of like a prospector during the California gold rush.
Yo le tengo mucha fe a la esmeralda pero es mentalidad, es suerte, es energía. No sabemos qué es, pero así es la esmeralda.
But to have a shot at finding something, you need to be ready to run. Miriam claims her spot and digs for treasure the size of a pebble. This debris comes from the nearby Puerto Arturo mine, which is backed by US investors.
Pues entre nosotras nos respetamos, ¿no? Ya lo que hizo la señora que entra de última. Y si la regalamos, le dije, le regaló un platado y me sacó dos, pues claro, me dio rabia. Si hay una chispa y brota y usted está mirando para otro lado, la cogen a la boca o a las botas y calla ahí. Cuando hay dinero o esmeraldas involucrados, no hay amigos. A veces es mi familia.
The oldest Guaqueros remember when white runoff flowed through this river and fines were more common. But environmental regulations and modernised excavation put a stop to that. Nivian spent 4 hours digging and sifting.
Sacamos unas chispitas que algo han de valer. No mucho, no es nada, pero vale. Hay ocasiones en las que no sacamos absolutamente nada.
These small stones are probably worth less than $25 each. Voladoras happen sporadically, so her next opportunity won't be for another few weeks.
Cuéntenos cómo le fue en la mina que hizo ayer que... A mí que me estaban grabando y me caí. O sea, yo sí me he caído. No, pero no grabaron la caída, menos mal. Así me hubiera vuelto viral. ¿Qué tal va a hacer que usted vaya y por el hombro se saque 10, 20, 30, 50 millones? Eso no es trágico. Trágico es uno trabajar en una ciudad 8 horas diarias, muchas veces yo he llegado a trabajar 12 horas por un salario. Eso sí es triste. Eso sí es trágico.
But the more formal and modern the mines become, the less that's left for the Guaqueros. And the fight to control Colombia's emeralds has raged for generations. This is away from Muso as the crow flies, but nearly a day's journey by bumpy roads lies one of the biggest emerald mines in Colombia. This is the Rosquas mine. Pura Gems, a company based in Dubai, acquired a majority stake in 2017. The company poured $150 million into modernising and expanding the vast tunnels. Today, Pura exports 500,000 carats annually. Just 10 years ago, this mine looked very different.
A few weeks ago, I visited a very old gold museum. I was looking for some...
Tonight, be the first to see Freakier Friday in theaters. Bring your daughter.
I am freaking out!
Bring your mother.
Make the choices!
You are so lame. For the ultimate girls.
A few weeks ago, I visited a very old gold museum. I was looking for some inspiration for an upcoming YouTube video. I was looking for old photographs, but tucked away in a special access archive, I stumbled upon some information about a hidden old gold field. As the sun rose, I decided it was time for me and my good mate Mark to get on the e-bikes and go and see if this place actually exists. You're going to see the highs and definitely come with us on the lows. We're going to leave nothing out so you can see exactly what it's like to be a prospector in Australia. We're going to cover the dangerous terrain, and of course, is the reality. This is what it's really like. Follow me now as I take you up the hill to find a hidden old goldfield. Today might just be our best day ever. Oh, look. Can you see that? G'day guys, welcome back. Today myself and Marky, g'day. So we're on the bikes and we're going for another adventure. When we were out here the other day, we actually found an old shovel down the bottom of this hill, and it was an old proper 1800s shovel which got us thinking maybe there's diggings up this way. To coincide with the information we have from that, we also found a digging at the museum. I was doing a bit of digging around with the curator there one day, and I found a little article on an unnamed digging. The article went on to say that the miners were dodging the government, and they got in quickly and they dug the complete top off the hill. And apparently the nuggets were the size of pieces. Let's see how we get on. If you love adventure, guys, hit that subscribe button. Guys, we're getting up the mountain. It is pretty steep. But look at this epic view. Oh my God, stunning. Continue. Let's go, baby. Whoa. Yeah, definitely. I got a spider on me for sure, bro. You want to check me out? I nailed it head first. He'll crawl with me soon. I'll freak out then. Shall we? We just come across something. We're sort of walking around the top of this hill here. Check this out. It's an old campfire or something along the likes. Oh yeah. These diggings are substantial for sure. So all of these rocks that I'm standing on right now, once upon a time, these would have all been much deeper down in the earth. We've made it to the diggings, and straight away, I've got an instant target. This is so good. Like, if you get to these old diggings and you are a prospector and you find a target straight away, you might as well, you know, just say it's fresh ground because no one's been here before. Oh, this could be interesting. Not that one. Rock, which could be gold. Well, maybe it's iron. And iron it was. On to the next one. Coming up later on, as the beautiful sun sets on our valley here, Mark and I stumble upon an absolute amazing run of just artifacts, gold, treasure, and all sorts of unusual things. It truly is amazing. We hope you stay to the end to see it all. Let's get back to the dig.
Alright, check it out. I'm pretty sure you might be able to hear that through my headphones without annoying me with that detector buzz, so have a little spot here. No targets yet for gold. I think it's this. Which is a bit of old timers buckshot. Yeah, bugger. Nothing yet. Man, have a look at this. Come out of my foot and I had to flick him off. There he is. Oh, spooky bastard. Oh, he just came out of my foot. Oh. Yeah, no thanks, mate. Alright. These are the things, you don't want them running up your arm. Jeez, they scare the crap out of you. I'll trench all the thingies there. I'll tug it over here somewhere. Ooh. Got up the target. Sounds like a bit of iron or something. That's him.
This is pretty sketchy grounds. This is give you a little sneak preview of my terrain right now. I'm standing on just a rock, and I've got wasps, spiders, snakes, and scorpions, and all sorts of stuff to deal with here. But I don't mind because big gold was found here, apparently. Yeah, I haven't found nothing yet. Fist-sized nuggets. I must have done a bloody good job because I haven't found nothing. Anyway, we carry on. Alright guys, we're just having a break, and I've come over to have a look at Mark, and look at this, he's cleaning up. Let's have a bit of a focus on that. Really hard to focus on him, but I got him now. Very nice. Jeez, that's rough, eh?
This one's like on the edge.
This is tiny, isn't it? Sometimes the gold is quite hard to see, but I promise you it's there. It's right in the center of the stone, as is common with most specimens. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, not big gold, but gold awesome. Quite happy with that, mate. Up for the kitty, eh?
It was the only 2 targets we've had all day.
Isn't it? What? Except for a bullet. Alright guys, I'll film some here. Go 1, 2. Well guys, can you see it? Because I can't. Yes, I can. Damn it, small man. Seeing gold one here. Just. There we are. Now we can see him. Look at that, guys. Oh yeah. Mark. How cool is that, eh? Wicked. That's nice, eh? Good job, mate. Should say, good job, me.
Good job, mate.
No worries, mate. Well, it's not a monster, but look, there's gold on this side too. Look at that. We were detecting these gold nuggets right at the front of this small adit. The old diamonds must have went in there and dug out either the quartz or probably the stone that we're finding the gold in, and crushed it on site, and or maybe even crushed it at another place. We're not too sure. There is very little written about this mountain. But what we did know for sure is that it was quite rich, and we were really hunting for that fist-sized nugget.
Hear this perfectly popping fizz described as crispy? Sounds just about perfect.
Slowly but surely. Yeah, that's nice. Good job, mate. Yeah, very nice. The tinies, eh? But you see how they missed it. So small. So we got three and a big one. Look at this guy. He just can't leave the hill. He loves it. How you going there, buddy? Are you back on? He's back on. God, he's a jackass. Yeah, I'll be digging it. Anyway, we almost had to drag Marky away with the chain. Well guys, we've done pretty well so far. We've got, I don't know, 5 or 6 little tiny specimens. not big, but it's good to know that there's a new place for us to prospect in the future. So we're going to call this place, well, it's called Ironbark Hill, isn't it, Mark? Hell is a better name for it. We'll just call it Hell. Oh, we're getting there. Not really, not really a nice place, is it? It was a hard pill to swallow, but we think the hill, for the most part, was a bit of a bust. After much deliberation, we wanted to find some serious gold to take home to our families. So we started discussing the opportunity of going back to a known gold field of ours, which is around about half an hour's motorbike ride. We had just enough juice left in the electric bike's batteries to get us there. So now we're hightailing to our favourite spot. Let's hope the gold gods are on our side. Hey guys, we're just taking 5 minutes. That ride took us about 30 minutes to get here, so it's sort of drained a fair bit of our battery and lost a bit of light, but that's okay. We're now back to the Holy Grounds. You may remember this hole from a previous episode. That's where we got a really nice 20-gram specimen from there. So the idea now, it's a bit game, but we're going to go through all this super shitty thorny stuff and hopefully find another one. Haven't even been here 2 minutes. Back to the holy ground, and Mark has just hit the jackpot. All right, that's a beautiful motor, mate. That'd be worth $200. Easy 200. That's very nice, mate. Good job. All right. All right, guys. So, ouch. Oh, I'm just in pain. Always. I'm good, mate. All good. Nice lab on here, guys. Listen. Very loud. And it's only 1 foot away from where I found a 20-gram specimen. So naturally, you've got to dig them. All right. We're getting down there a bit. Hoping it's still in there. Oh, it's out. So it's probably going to be rubbish now that it's out. I would have liked that to be a little bit deeper, so let's find out. Oh, wow. No way. Wait, dude. I just found a Trippins. Yeah, look. Cool. Look at that. How dope. I don't really find them, normally. There you go, guys, I'm rich. That's Australian silver currency from back in the day. How was that? That's wicked. Did not expect that at all. That was the last thing I thought would jump out. Oh, look at that. That's cool as. Anyway, bit of treasure. I just got a signal in there. So now, I'm going to cut my way in. Which sort of sucks. Anyway, here's what it is. Sometimes you just have no choice but to brute force your way into spots that look good. This spot is great. That's why I was persisting to get in there. Alright, this better be a nugget. Oh. And in we go. Alright, we're down here somewhere. Cool, it's a big specie. There we go. I think maybe check that. Anyway, If you could imagine, I was crouched under thorns and lantana and had very little room to move. Filming this sequence is so difficult. Bear with me.
Oh, it's good looking ground. I'm underneath like a massive thorn bush in amongst lantana. So, definitely not. Oh. Alright, we're pretty close there. Right there. That's where we gotta go. There. Oh, solid white gravel down there, so it could be something. Hopefully it's something good. It's on the clay block. You ready to go? Come on. That could be cool.
Okay. I got one more survey to do. Oh, somewhat.
Look.
Oh.
I'm not making coffee, I'm just getting ready for you to get ready. That's not going anywhere. Mine we get coffee filters when I'm at the store.
Okay.
Scars don't have to be hidden. Moderna can help people with any scars.
Style and substance. In the GMC Sierra. Or get 0% APR plus 2,600 total value on this Sierra.
Join Planet Fitness today and save. Just $1 down, $15 a month.
Can you see that? Oh. Hey Mark,
Camera right here with that
found a
Dawson.
beauty.
Did you take some of it
I
today?
found a beauty. Mate, I owned that one. I had to cut through the bush and everything. Oh, how good is this spot, man? It's decent. It's 5 grams at least, maybe 6.
Their estimate wasn't even close. It was more than double that.
Oh, that's wicked. Pretty thin, guys, but we're at. Bloody hell. Oh no, bro. I had to proper work to get in here.
Oh, that is nice.
Not bad, eh, dude?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Had to dig in to get that.
Wow,
I
that's
just thought it looked good. Like out there. Yeah, I reckon it's 5 grams there. Oh, let's have a look at Marky's little run there. He's doing good. Yeah, man, it's good today. That was a cool one. I liked it. I liked that one. Cool. Cool, dude. Cool. There you go, guys. Look at that. This is why we do it. Mate, we've been here 5 minutes. We found him. What was the other one? And him. And the Thrippins. Don't forget the Thrippins too. You want to see my Thrip?
Yeah.
This is that big bitty guy. You get him in?
Yeah.
Get him off. Good fit? Mate, the fit. Welcome to my little cave of thorns. I welcome you. Inside here. That's the little cave tunnel that I've dug for myself a machete, so I'm onto a wicked target here. Probably going to be rubbish, but look, you never know. I'll put you in for the ride. Let's have a go.
got these too.
Oh.
I was in my closet the other day. I haven't brought these out yet.
Come on, who gonna be?
Pans.
Um,
Pans.
What's this? Anybody? Oh, is it gone? Can't tell yet. There's something weird. I think it's gone. Yeah, it could be. This could be. I don't know what that is, guys. Yeah, I think that's gold. Oh, yes, it is. What a munged up piece of gold that is. It's broken in half, unfortunately, but nothing I can do about that. I suppose as a good prospector, I shouldn't have ripped him in half investigating, but it actually broke real easy, so that's on me, that's my bad. Look at that, guys. It's a big bloody bit. Jesus Christ, eh? Look at that. Doesn't even look like gold, does it? From there, it just looks like rust. And you'd think that's rust, looking at that. Alright, I'm going to put the main camera on and give you a better look. Alright guys, look at this absolute beauty I've just pulled out. Not super heavy, so I don't think the gold content in this one would be amazing, but I mean, look at the size of it, bud. Good size.
Bro, you are always in here.
Like rust. When I was holding it from here, as a prospector, you'd think straight away, oh, that's just a bit of old crap, you know, but then you turn it over. It's actually a valuable piece of gold. Wow. Anyway, that's definitely an ultrasonic cleaner job, that one, but I don't think that break's going to last. So, anyway, we'll give it a nice clean up when we get home. Check it out. See how it looks when it's all cleaned up. Hey? Yeah, kind of like a badge that goes on something. Maybe a belt badge. I'm not seeing any pins where it connects to the belt though. Have a look at that, guys. What do you think of that? Yeah. Wicked. You definitely find some cool things today, guys. If you know any more about that, please let me know. I think it says, no, it's EB and Co. E for egg. What's that? It might be an F actually. It's an F.
I'm not too sure, but I think I was finding the remnants of either an old clock or maybe a sewing machine of some kind. If you know what it is, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. The full picture of the parts is at the end of the video.